Here we go.
Wednesday fun day. I said Wednesday fun day.
Yes, it is. It's time once again. Oh, where are we here? Let's get stuff set up here and get ready for whatever comes his way.
The clock on the wall says 8 o'clock.
That's right. That's for medium wave. Time to get up here where the waves are shorter and the nights are longer.
Is that what's going on? They're all down there? Or up there? I don't know.
Yeah, with Pete's down there. And, yeah. He'll be up here shortly. He realizes he's late to the party here, so. Yeah, I just wanted to hear this thing that, well, I saw work to do to it. It still has that crackling in the background. Yeah.
What radio is that?
Courier Centurion 40.
10-4.
Had to put a new final in it.
I guess I still am to a point, but when I was a kid, that was like such a fear of mine. It was blowing a final. Yeah, it was always ingrained in my head. Never key without, an antenna. And yeah, like I said, that was like the biggest fear of mine growing up. Yeah, what I was gonna say, like that Lincoln 2 Plus I have, that has a I guess you could say a limiter on it, but it's got a threshold where if the SWR gets too high, it shuts it down.
Yeah, there were a couple radios like that. The Roy 640 had a little SCR circuit in there that if the SWR got up to like 3 to 1 or something, it would shut down the transmitter completely. Other modern radios have like foldback circuits in them where, it's proportional. As the SWR starts going up, the power output starts to drop down proportionally to keep the reflected power to a certain level. And, yeah. Of course, these newer radios too, like that radio of yours, they got MOSFETs in the files, and they're a lot more sensitive. You can blow them easily. But yeah, my very, very first 23-channel mobile radio, I worked my butt off to raise $100 that it cost me to buy the thing. I blew the final in that in like a month. antenna, and the match wasn't so good, and I had a homemade power supply, and I think I might have bumped the voltage up a little too far, and yeah, next thing you know, the final's blown.
I guess that's when you learned to start working on it, right?
Well, I tried to fix it, because it seemed like both the final and the driver were blown. I had some kind of a transistor tester, and I tested them, and I went like, ooh. So I went out, and I looked up the part equivalent part number. I rode my bike down to Fully Electronics and bought the recommended parts and stuck it in the radio, and disappointingly, it was putting out power again, but only like a half a watt. As it turns out, the final and the driver in that radio were both the exact same part, but they crossed over to 2-watt parts, in the RCA world. So I had a local ham looked at it, and he went like, yeah, you need a bigger part than that. And he put a 5-watt final in there or something like that, and it then jumped up to 3 watts of output power. I was back on the air again.
Great success.
Yeah, thanks.
Is that Bite Buster out there? I heard key up.
Yes, sir.
Good evening. And I still don't have room for a baby grand.
Well, if you know someone who does.
Yeah, I said something to my mom. She plays piano, and she was like, she's like, I have no room for it either.
Come on. You could build a new addition.
If I had my back patio porch all cleaned off, it would fit in there. The problem is it gets extremely hot in the summer and extremely cold in the winter. The two things that would not fare well for a piano.
Well, you definitely would become an expert tuner. Oh, no. Oh, yes. Hello, Classic Radio Roundup. Countywide. Yeah, so I guess the question of the night is, where have you been? I've been here and there, sometimes there and sometimes here. Yeah, but not on Classic Radio Roundup for the last 2 weeks. No, trying to get acclimated to my new life. And what's that? Monday through Friday, 7 to 3. Oh, well. 7 to 3, that should have been fine for Classic Radio Roundup. Yeah, but I get up at 5. Oh. Not by my choice. The dogs get me up. And once I'm up, I'm up.
Oh, I know that feeling. Not with dogs, but with cats and the wife's alarm clock. I was saying it could be worse. I have an early morning airport run. I got to drive somebody to the airport, so that should be fun.
I got a kerfuffle here. I can't turn my antenna. For some reason, my rotor won't turn. When did that happen? Must have happened when you're not on Classic Radio Roundup for 2 weeks. It won't turn. Well, I hope it's in a good spot, because I can't move it. I don't know why, but it won't move.
Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again?
It's not an Apple. It's not a Windows computer.
Those you turn off and throw out the window.
Well, if I had a window to throw it out of, I could, but I'm just going to wind up throwing it into a cinder block wall. Yeah, that won't end well. Well, it indicates, it shows the right direction, but it won't turn. It turned the last time I tried to turn it. It won't turn now. What the heck? It's gotta be squirrels. Nobody can hear me. I hear you, Blake
Buster, even though my antenna is 90 degrees from you, but I still hear you.
I said maybe it's just flipping inside the rotor.
Yeah, I don't know about that. It's going to require further investigation, that's for sure.
You can always run from the stick.
Yeah, that's not working out.
Oh, the stick's on the front again?
Well, this is the stick. You're less signal on the stick.
Yeah, but you're more signal on the stick.
Well, you're less signal on the stick. Where's Bite Buster?
You give me more signal on the stick.
All right, well, I guess the stick is going to work out. But everybody's less signal on the stick, but I hear everybody, so that's that.
Yeah, you're giving me more signal on the stick.
Well, my antenna's pointed south of Dave. It's not where I want it to be. So I was going to turn it. Well, it won't turn.
So what, you're like southwest or something?
Yeah, it's southwest, and it won't turn.
Well, maybe you start coasting, hit it one way, hit it the other way, hit it one way, hit it the other way, and maybe you'll wake up.
Yeah, I would think, even if one of the wires was broken, it would turn one way and not the other way. It's not turning either way.
Oh. Yeah, if it was completely broken through, your indicator wouldn't work.
Yeah, my indicator works. And that's just from sitting. Just from sitting, now it won't work.
Trying to tell you, you can't miss 2 weeks of Classic Radio Roundup.
Well, my equipment dying on me is not going to help me participate in Classic Radio Roundup.
Yeah, I was just getting pissed off. You weren't here to exercise it.
Well, I exercised it last weekend during the VHF-UHF contest. I loaded up the PDL-2 at 6 meters and it works.
You were on your 6-meter contest?
Yeah, I was running 6 meters. I was working all kinds of E-skip all over the place. And even some, local grid squares.
Oh, that's funny.
And what amazed me is the PDL-2 had better signal on everybody than the wire, the CBS wire. I mean, the PDL-2 worked way better than I had any right to think it would.
Wow.
So that's 2 full waves on 6 meters, I guess? I don't know. It worked.
Well, you can't argue with success.
I was amazed. I thought, this ain't gonna work. Yeah, even if I could load up, it's not gonna work. But it did. People were hearing me on the first call. I was like, wow.
Okay. Well, it's a winner.
I had no right to expect that was gonna work out. But, you know me, I'm gonna try things. And it worked out way better than I expected. So anyway, getting into the Classic Radio Roundup, antenna issue, rotor beside, and all that, and the stick is working, so I'll stick with it. Did I hear you say you're on a Courier Centurion 40D?
That it would be correct.
That thing sounds killer.
Yeah, that's working. Although there's a real problem in there. There's some kind of crackling noise that keeps coming in. Although at the moment it seems to be quiet. I think there might be some kind of weird. I thought it was my adapter granter. Because I could plug in a stock mic and it was quiet. And I rebuilt my adapter granter and that didn't do it. And I thought maybe the mic jack, but it's not really that. You can jiggle the mic jack around because it's loose. But I don't know. I'm thinking now that it must have something to do with impedance of the microphone. Because the other mic I had was a ceramic mic, and I think there's a cap in there that's probably noisy. But yeah. But anyway, I mean, the radio itself is working good. The final I put in it is putting out the proper amounts of power, and everything's on frequency, and the receiver's been aligned, and it's hunky-dory.
That thing's got kick-butt audio. I like it. And that's kind of cool because I'm on the Centurion PLL right now.
Yeah, whoever, dorked around with this thing, did something, clipped the limiters out of it. There's no limiters in this thing at all.
And they're not there to put back in or anything?
Well, the transistor's there from what I can see, but the 40D does things differently than the PLL. There's an extra board in this radio. They added some kind of clipper circuit, and I don't know if they bypassed it or what, because there's an adjustment on there and it doesn't do anything.
Alright, well, I wouldn't get too hung up on that unless you feel you need to, because it sounds kick-ass.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on it. It's going to be what it's going to be.
Thing sounds kick-ass.
Yeah, 1970s style.
Yeah, that thing sounds really nice. I take it you heard me down there on the medium wave band then.
Yeah. The answer to the question is if you were sleeping, that's why you weren't around.
Yeah, I couldn't keep my eyes open, but I think I'm acclimated now. I can keep my eyes open, so we'll try it from here on out. How to get acclimated.
So now you're like a normal person? You work Monday through Friday and have the weekends off?
Well, I'll never be like a normal person, but I do have normal weekends and Monday through Friday work hours, yes.
Does this correspond with like a new position? You're like doing the tech stuff now?
I am the instrument tech, the chemistry supervisor, and the training instructor, yes.
So you wear many hats. But the best question is that hopefully you're getting paid more for it.
Well, I'm getting paid well, and I mostly dictate what it is that I want to do as far as my own work. In fact, I know more about what needs to be done than they do, and I tell them what I'm going to do.
And they just take your word for it because you know more than they do. Yeah, that works out good.
And it does. And they leave me alone for an hour at lunchtime. I've already established 11:30 to 12:30, I'm eating my lunch. And if I'm sitting there at my desk with my feet up and my hat pulled over my eyes, just don't disturb me till 12:30.
Take a little cat nap, huh?
I'm old, man. I gotta, they're not gonna fire me, so I gotta take what I need.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I like the idea of taking a nap, but I just can't get comfortable enough to fall asleep in anything but my bed.
Well, it's not really falling asleep. I'm just turning off for half an hour.
Yeah. That's a good way to rejuvenate a little bit.
Yeah, I actually, it recharges me. It really does. If I just sit there with my eyes closed for half an hour, I'm kind of in a zone. I'm not really asleep, but I'm not fully awake. But I mean, if there's an emergency and somebody calls my name, I'm going to snap right out of it. But that's all Navy training kind of stuff. I can do that. But yeah, just from 11:30 to 12:30, unless there's some evolution going on or some kind of emergency, leave me alone from 11:30 to 12:30.
There you go.
And so far it's worked.
Well, that's good. No pain, no strain.
But yeah, I also, in the rest of the hours, I'm solving problems. Keeping an eye on things and making sure people don't hurt themselves or blow things up.
And then after the break,
Yeah, you still got that guy you were training that didn't seem like he knew what he was doing, or?
Well, yeah, he's coming along. He's a Williamson Trade School graduate, so he has a clue. He's just a young guy, so you got to work on his work ethic is all, and I got him going in the right direction. In fact, today I caught him screwing off, so I said, you need to go see the boss and see if we ask him if we got any relative bearing grease. Well, quit screwing off and I won't send you on dumb errands.
Relative bearing grease.
Oh, boss laughed in his face, he still didn't get the joke.
No, brother.
And then even we explained it to him, he's still like, what are you talking about? Like a compass? Like compass bearing? Like relative bearing? What are you talking about? He still didn't get it, so it made it even funnier.
Obviously, they don't teach celestial navigation or any sort of navigation in Wharton, or what did you say was tech school?
Williamson Trade School. They're the only people around, at least in this area, that teach anything about steam.
Other than the Navy.
Yeah, well, they don't even really teach it anymore. There's only like 5 or 6 steamships left.
Well, even nuclear ships run on steam.
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, nuclear power is steam, true.
Just how it's heated is a little different.
Yeah, they use magic to boil the water, where I use fossil fuel.
Magic.
It's the only difference. Everything else is the same.
Yeah, from the heat exchanger on.
Just a different kind of heat exchanger, different energy source, that's all.
Yeah, there you go. Sounds like a plan.
So you did catch me on medium wave?
I did hear you on medium wave, and I did another oopsie thing. I unplugged the 80-meter antenna from the tuner so that it wouldn't screw up my match. I hit the tuner, and as the thing's tuning, I got a freaking RF burn from holding onto the coax connector on the 80-meter antenna. I'm like, let's do that real quick.
That's funny. That's funny.
It's not so funny, it hurt. But that's how much RF is coming down the shield of my coax for the 80-meter antenna. And the 80-meter antenna is on a different gutter than the 160. That's like, it blows my mind how this is happening.
So you got burned on the shield, not the center conductor, which would be the gutter, but the gutters aren't connected. That's wild.
Well, they're not connected solidly. I guess maybe there must be some stray current going through the flashings or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they must be connected in some way then.
Yeah, maybe they are, but still, I mean, that's a lot of RF to be going down the ground side of a coax. That just goes to show you how inefficient that antenna is. It's pumping my damn power down into my fingers instead of out in the air.
Yeah, but at least you can hear us. Well, you heard me. Did you hear Dave or Paul?
I heard Dave, but my noise level was like 10 over, and you were just over that.
Oh, wow. I was running a $1.75 carrier.
Yeah, I can understand you, but I couldn't understand anybody else. They were in the noise.
Yeah, Dave was only at 35 watts.
Yeah, he was loafing.
He's got this thing. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's trying to prove a point or what. Like when I was running 35 watts, he was all about power. Then I get power, and what does he do? Run 35 watts.
Well, it's all about making sure you have the power when you need it. But if you don't need it, turn it off.
Well, he also pushed me to improve my antenna situation, so I know my antenna situation is as good as it's ever going to get.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
The other guy was Paul. I don't know what kind of power he was at. I assume 100 watts or so, but I don't know for certain. He was down at Cape May Courthouse.
Yeah, I could tell he was there, but, again, the noise level was just brutal.
Yeah, he's also, on the low audio side, too. I even told him that. And what did he do? Got close to his microphone for a minute, and then faded away again.
So he doesn't have any gain to turn up.
Well, I don't know. I think he does. I think he's just, lazy or whatever, but I don't know. I don't know. He's a character, that's for sure.
way or another. That's why we're on the radio.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I didn't really have any trouble hearing them until like you took a QSB fade.
And where's Wayne?
That's the question of the minute. Where's Wayne?
I hear this.
Hiya, Wayne.
Hi, Pete. Hi, Dave. Hello, Wayne. You're kicking butt tonight, Wayne. You're stronger than Pete.
Hello, Wayne.
Well, I haven't changed anything. Wow.
Well, if I could turn my beam right at you, I might be able to change that equation, but I can't.
No, you're never stronger on the beam. Where's that beam pointed county-wide?
Southwest, but I'm not on it at the moment. I can't turn it, and that's what's annoying me.
Okay, just checking. I'm up in Bethlehem. I got you in there.
Yeah, I'm on my stick 100 feet in a tree, and it works pretty well, but my beam is useful, but becomes less useful if I can't turn it.
Yeah, that's easy enough to fix. That just takes time. You'll get it.
Well, see, the thing is last weekend I could turn it. I come down here tonight and I can't, so I don't know what happened.
Those damn squirrels.
You never know.
No, you don't never know. That's what keeps it all interesting. You just never know what's going to get you. But anyway, that bird sounds pretty good down here.
Yeah, this old antique Browning Mark III is still working.
Oh, I know you up there in Bethlehem. Daggone it, I can't come up with your handle, though. Sandman, is that right?
Mr. Sandman, yeah, number 327 in Bethlehem.
Yeah, all right. Chalk one up for me. I remembered your name. Good evening there, Sandman. It sounded good.
Guess you got enough sleep.
Yeah, well, talk to me tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks for acknowledging. I was skiing a couple times there, but I know I can't hear the fellow that just got in there. I can't hear him at all, but your other friend, I can hear him pretty good.
Well, as long as you can hear me and you're making the video gate, the rest of it's all, you can neither here nor there. But yeah, you're sounding good, Sandman. Glad you made it in here. It's been a while since I caught up to you, but I've been absent a couple weeks myself. But here I am tonight on Classic Radio Roundup.
Yeah, definitely the pleasure on my end, for sure. Thanks for holding the show and holding it down, and we'll be in here listening, and anybody come in there, you just feel free to get to them.
Yeah, stand by a second there, Sandman. I want to see, can you hear Sandbagger? Sandbagger, say hello to Sandman.
Well, he should hear me. I would think he'd hear me. Absolutely, Sandbagger. Yeah, you both are coming in pretty much comparable to signal. You got a little more audio there, Sandbagger. Yeah, there we go. Good old 40D without any limiters in it.
Well, that was going to be my question there, Sandman, because that one's a Courier Centurion 40D. This one's a Courier Centurion PLL. I just wanted you to evaluate what you heard between this one and that one, taking into account our different voices.
So you switched radios there. The second one, I'm going to say, is just a tiny bit more audio, maybe. They're very comparable, very close.
No, he's on one and I'm on the other, but they're both my radio.
I got it now. Yeah, the other one, his has a little bigger audio. Very nice deep audio. Wow, it's working.
Yeah, I think it's working. I just wanted to see what they sounded like next to each other from a third party. So that's cool. Good deal. Thanks, Sandman.
Your audio is crystal clear. It sounds more of a stock mic. He sounds like he's on a D104. Yeah, that's the difference. I don't know what mic he's on, but that's got a little better tone.
got a D104.
And so am I. Yeah, you know, all D104s aren't created equally. A lot of them sound different.
Well, that's true. That's absolutely true. Do I need to turn mine up, or is my level good?
I think you're great. Where are you at? I leave him alone, yeah. This is a Silver Eagle right here.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, well, you sound loud and proud. I mean, you're coming through loud, crystal clear, not too loud. You know, the whole thing is right where you wanted it to be, if I had to say. Which bird is that, Sandman?
A little bit of Mexican chatter.
What model bird are you running?
I'm sorry, someone's getting up with you.
Oh, no! I was just wondering what model branding are you on?
He's got it again. He did say earlier that it was a Mark III.
Oh, I missed the Mark III. All right, just curious. Thing sounds good.
Yes, we are on the Mark III tonight. I have a Mark IV right next to me here, but yeah, we got the old one running.
Yeah, that thing sounds fantastic. You want it right where it is. It sounds really good.
Yep, that's what I'm told. I've never heard it. I actually played it back in the other radio. I could just set another radio up, but out in the air. Oh, I listened to it on your antique radio roundup playback. That's always fun.
Oh, yeah. That's the best way right there. Well, not the best way, but a good way. But I'm recording you right now, so if you want to check it out sometime tomorrow when I upload, you'll be able to hear how you're making it down here tonight on my Courier Centurion PLL.
Anyway, bite that, sir. Can you hear that Mexican guy talking? I'm sure you can. Hello, I want to say hello to you, and I'll get out of the way. I'm having trouble hearing them guys. That guy's keying up. He keys up every time I unkey, so I think he's kind of talking to me, but he's speaking the wrong language. Yeah, I hear him out there.
Yeah, I ain't hearing no Mexicans out there at all. I even went to the horizontal beam pointed down that way, and I still don't hear them.
He's probably a local in his area on a walkie-talkie or something. Oh, he's definitely in the background. I hear him. Speaking the wrong language. This is America. We speak English here.
Yeah, I'm rolling back to how the hell do I troubleshoot this rotor problem?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you can measure voltage on the pins for the, the motor. There should be your left and your right, which, and it should be common. It's like, what is it, like 30 volts, something like that, AC. And, you can check to see if the box is putting out. You can look behind the box and make sure all the wires are connected and none of them fell off.
Yeah, I did that. I even looked at the bottom, went outside and looked at the bottom of the rotor from what I could see. Everything looks good there. Everything looks good on the back of the box. So yeah, I guess it comes down to a voltmeter. I'll have to find the manual. I know I got the manual here somewhere, so... well, more work. I got enough damn things to do without things breaking.
That's for sure.
I told you, one of those squirrels probably chewed your line.
They got too much to chew on around here to worry about my wires.
Oh, no, they live for that.
Well, a quick inspection didn't reveal anything, but I guess I'll have to do a more in-depth type of inspection of the wires, the connections. Just like, I got enough jobs around here. I don't need another one.
Yeah, welcome to my world.
And now, Monday through Friday with Saturday, Sunday off, it's great. But the downside is I have no time unsupervised anymore.
Yeah, no, that really sucks. So now it's everything is going to be dictated by the other half and not, by you.
Right. At least the Mondays and Tuesdays I had 4 hours each day that I was unsupervised. So I could do stuff like that.
Yeah, you could
That was the best time for it. Early morning, unsupervised, hang antennas. And now I got to work it out somehow.
Well, you're going to have to just sit down and go, look, this is my time now. I'm going to go do this.
Well, Sunday, just after lunch, she says, you need anything from CVS? I'm going to CVS. I'm like, yeah, I need body wash. Give me some body wash. She said, okay, I'm going to CVS, and then maybe I'm going to go here, I'm going to go there. I'm like, hey, since you're going to be gone a while, I'm going to the rifle range. I'll see you later. Bye. And I did.
There you go. That's what you got to do. Otherwise, you'll never have any time to yourself.
And it was a good hour at the rifle range. I was there, I give myself a black and blue arm.
Oh, wow.
Daggone 7.62 by 54R leaves a mark.
Lots of kickback.
Oh, yeah. You need a coat. You need to wear a coat when you shoot more than 10 rounds of that thing. I shot 40 rounds and came out with a black and blue arm.
Ouch.
I didn't even notice it till the next day. I knew it was sore, and then I saw myself when I got out of the shower. I looked in the mirror like, oh, wow. My arm's black and blue.
They make padded shirts for that.
Those are for sissies. I usually shoot that rifle in cooler weather, and I got a coat on. I was in a t-shirt. It was a nice day. I took my number 7 SKS. I had a lot more fun with that. Doesn't hurt, and I was whacking plates. Bang!
You're always wearing a lot of clothes when it's hunting season, so you don't feel it.
Yeah, you don't pull off as many rounds as you do when you're at the range.
Absolutely.
I went through 40 rounds of 7.62 by 54R, and I went through 90 rounds of 7.62 by 39.
That's a lot of money.
It's already paid for.
So you got to replace it now.
Well, not now. Maybe later, but not now. I got enough for later, for the interim. That's why when I buy, a minimum of 1,000 rounds.
And that's a whole paycheck.
No, it's not. Maybe a paycheck if I was working at McDonald's, but not my paycheck.
Yeah, flip those burgers.
And not only that, see, Uncle Sam thanks me every month for my service, so I can spend that money on ammo. That money, the wife already knows. Like, nope, that's mine.
There you go. Gotta have your own allowance.
That's right. You can spend everything else I made, but that one's mine. Speaking of spending, we just got a new roof put on the house. Oh my God! You know how much that cost?
Well, I know when I did the one up the lake house, it was like $8,000. So I imagine yours is probably a tad more than that.
Yeah, I think my house has more square footage on the roof of the long-nosed suburban stucco ranch house than your lake house does.
Yeah, I've got about 1,200 square feet, so it ain't that, it's about the size of my old house.
Yeah, well, I think mine's about 3 times that size.
Well, I didn't think you had that much square footage.
Not inside the house, but if you count all the roof, yeah. Garage, addition, and the house itself, yeah, boy.
Yeah, that's true. All right, well, I do have a porch, but I don't have a garage up there.
Well, my price was about 3 times what you just stated.
24 grand?
Oh, I guess it's maybe more than 3 times.
What?
It was 29.
Man, they saw you coming.
I got 40 years singles.
They better be 100 years singles for that kind of money.
Dude, I had 6 estimates. That was the cheapest one.
Oh my God. I had a roof put on here a couple years ago, and the guy said, hey, look, this is what we're going to do. We had hail damage, and, I'm writing up this report, and you're going to submit it to your insurance company, and they're going to pay for it. And they did.
Yeah, well, I didn't have hail damage. There was no insurance claim possible. I just had to bite the bullet and pay for it. And I didn't take the cheapest. I kind of took the median. And I was amazed at how much it was, though. I was like, oh my God. But it's a lot cheaper than what he started out as. Like, we talked them all down. All of them, we got them down. And we took, wasn't the bottom, wasn't his next bottom. It was like the third from the bottom out of 8 estimates.
You get a metal roof, you don't have to worry about that. Once and done.
Yeah, and that would have cost even more.
Well, yeah, I mean, it lasts your lifetime.
Dude, a 40-year roof, all right? A 40-year roof is going to last more than my lifetime. If I live the next 40 years, I'll be 101.
Well, now, yeah, but just think if you would have put it on when you first bought the house.
Yeah, well, I didn't have that kind of money then either. Metal roofs are not cheap.
I still can't get over how much they charge you for that. I mean, I can remember putting a roof on my old house. Now, granted, this was probably close to 30 years ago, but it cost me like $3,000.
Well, our roof we put on here 25 years ago, when we moved in, the roof we put on, with 3/4-inch plywood. We replaced all the plywood. 3/4-inch plywood, 25-year shingles, and it cost me 18 grand.
Yeah, I just can't believe it's going up that much. Jeez.
Well, it's gone up that much. And they started out, the original prices that we were quoted were like in the 50 grand neighborhood.
That's crazy.
It's not crazy, that's what they're growing.
That's what things cost now, dude. That's what they cost. You gotta get used to it. I was shocked. I was shocked. But I mean, without going with the fly-by-night company with 25-year shingles, I went with a reputable company. After a bunch of different estimates, I got them down to 29.
Wow.
That's the best I could do.
And you're paying for labor, that's what you're paying for.
The labor, nobody spoke English.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you're still paying for labor.
I gotta say, they did a really good job of the roof, and they did a really good job of the cleanup. So I'm not unhappy with it, but it did cost more than I thought it would. And then, it was pretty funny, so I threw it in there. You're gonna like this. I threw it in there. I said, okay, so it's gonna cost basically 30 grand for a roof. Can I have 10% of that money to buy an amplifier? Boy, if looks could kill, you guys would be coming to my funeral next weekend.
I'd be getting that call on the phone.
Oh, you're in the will. You're in the addendum. I'm supposed to tell you, though, you got to pay $25 a piece.
Oh, I got to pay for it now.
Well, that's what she said. I'm not saying that. She said, and I said, I'm going to tell him that. She says, go ahead. She goes, he could come over here and take everything out of here, but it's $25 a piece. I'm like, Well, that's kind of ridiculous because now then he I said, Kenny's gonna not let him. Like, it's one thing if he brings the stuff over for free, but if he says I paid $25 a piece for this, like, Kenny's gonna get upset. He says, well, just tell him $25 a piece. Like, all right, well, I'm gonna tell him that, but I'm not gonna hold him to it.
Well, you're not gonna have any choice because you're gonna be dead.
Right, he won't be able to talk about me anyway then, because I'll be dead. But that's what she said. She says, he can come in and take everything, $25 a piece.
Well, I'll pay the $25. I just won't take everything. I'll only take the things I'm interested in.
That's what I said. The first thing I thought, I was thinking, you know, then he's only going to take what he wants, and then you're going to be left with all the crap that you won't get nothing for.
Yeah, I'm going to walk out with that Denko satellite and, you know, a couple other interesting things.
I said if you let him just have everything, it'll all be gone.
Yeah, I'll have to bring the truck over and in the trailer and, you know, it can be once and done.
$25 a piece. The DX100 will be sitting here.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Yeah, like you might take it for free, but not for $25 you ain't taking it.
Yeah, and then I'll have to lug it to a ham fest or something.
And then she goes, well, what if you outlive him? I said, well, then we got to find another sucker.
Well, yeah, if you outlive me, then I guess the reverse goes.
So I get to come over there and get everything for $25 a piece? Only what I want?
I guess so.
It's just funny because we just did our wills this week, and I said, well, I got to make an addendum because I don't want my radios going to landfill. I'd rather just give them away. I was like, I said to her, I said, anybody who shows up at the door and they got a call sign, and even if they make it up and they know to be here that there's radios, like I don't have it. Like, let them clean the place out. I don't care. I'll be dead.
I'm just kind of the same way, you know. I would love these to go to a good home. You know, I know the wife is threatened to build a big pile and you know, put them on a pile of wood and set them all on fire in the backyard, but I don't know if she'd actually do that or not. I told her, I said, you know, you're burning money doing that, you know. I said, get a hold of Pete, you know, get a hold of Art, whoever, and, you know, they'll help you find another home for this stuff and put a few bucks in your pocket.
I will put a few bucks in her pocket, and they'll all find good homes. And I would rather the same thing happen here. And I just toss her a couple of bucks, you know, make her happy. But I'd rather the stuff all go to a good home than go to a freaking landfill. That's criminal.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely criminal.
Especially with some of the pieces that I have here, you know. Like you said, the Demco, the B&W. It'd be a shame for that thing to go scrap, you know. Even a DX100 would be a shame. You know, there's a few things here, like, okay, there's some junk, whatever, you know. Some people be a happy CD world, whatever. But there's a few things here that'd be really criminal to scrap.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully we won't have to deal with this for a few more years.
I hope that's the case. I hope this is all, you know, as it is right now, it's all kind of fun to make fun of, but, you know, at some point it's going to become our reality. Yeah, it is. I mean, Christ, I know my roof is going to outlive me now.
Yeah, well, that's what I said to my guy, the roofer. You know, he's telling me about how, you know, these shingles are, I don't know, 50 years or whatever the hell he said they were. And I said, I don't care if they're 50 years or 40 years or 30 years, but I won't be here when they need to be replaced again.
Well, the dude was making the pitch here. The wife and I were saying the same thing. Like, dude, like we're in our 60s. Do you really think we care about 50-year-old shingles? No.
Yeah, and, you know, the next person that owns the house, that'll be their problem.
That's right. I only want to make it through till it's somebody else's problem. If I get 25 years, that's good enough for me. Wow, we don't do 25 years anymore. 40 years and 50 years. I said, well, I'll take the 40s because in 50 years, I definitely ain't going to be here. Peace.
if you guys both go at the same time, who are you leaving your house to? I mean, you got relatives, right?
Well, yeah, it's not going to any of my relatives anyway. We got a really good friend who will take care of the house and any dogs that we have living at the time.
Are they younger than you?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Because we just went in for ours, believe it or not, today, and we were thinking the same thing. You know, my kids are going to get it, but, you know, it's all these medical things, too, medical decisions and all.
Yeah, we had to do all that, too, the living will and power of attorneys and all that nonsense, and we designated this person that's a good friend of ours who's a dog person, and, like, the wife crafted everything to basically, like, everything is an asset to take care of our dogs, that they're happy and, you know, until they pass. And then whatever is left over is yours to do with what you want. But the dog's got to be taken care of.
You're going to outlive your dog.
I may or I may not, you know. I mean, like Ty's only 4, so and he'll live at least another 10 years or more. And it might be a race to who goes first, him or me.
I was looking at my dog thinking the same thing before.
That's one thing I didn't have to deal with. The last dog to die was the last dog we had.
Now, Mini Man is on borrowed time already, and we know that. But Ty, he's still young.
Yeah, I mean, my dog, my one dog is like 3 years old. The other one is like 2. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a race to the grave there. I don't know.
Yeah, they're going to be around for at least another 10 years or more, for sure. And that's how we like, Ty's going to be around for at least 10 more years. So, I don't know. They're probably our last dogs, but if we go before them, I want them taken care of. I don't want my dogs to wind up in some shelter or home or euthanized. I want them to be taken care of. Sorry, that's the way I feel.
Well, that's a good thing.
And my kid, you know, she ain't never done nothing for me, so she don't get nothing. Actually, I put in there specifically, she gets $10. And then, well, my stepson, he's alive, so he'll get taken care of in a way, but I want my dogs taken care of. They're more important.
My wife's just going to take everything of mine and sell it and dig a hole for me in the backyard.
That's a plan. Actually, I'll get taken care of at a national cemetery. That's good for me, and that's all free, so I'm good to go there.
Well, we're making sure that upon death they get some money so they can bury us and do all that stuff.
Man, how did Classic Radio Roundup take this turn? Holy cow!
Classic Morbid Roundup.
Yeah.
Well, it is radio related, though, because we kind of got on the subject of who gets whose radios.
Who gets whose radios? You know, whoever goes first, the survivor gets the radios. But really, seriously, I would rather my radios go to a home than me having to worry about selling them or the wife worried about selling them. Like, just get a hold of one of my radio people. Let them take care of it. They'll toss you a few bucks. Even if you said, just take it away. All my friends, they'll toss you a few bucks. I mean, I know I would. Where's that rooster? Just don't let that rooster in my house. Where's he at? Who knows?
Oh, there's Goose.
You got Goose? Is that better than the rooster? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you should trust that Goose either. You know, you might not. If a guy comes, I'm Goose. I'm here for the radios. I don't know if you should trust him.
Yeah, only if he throws it out the
You're gonna have to have a like the convenience stores have. Do not let them in.
I have to put pictures up.
You're funny here, Pete.
Say what?
And you're funny.
Well, you could come out. You could come take that PDL2 back.
Why, you don't like it?
Oh hell no! I love it. I love it. I'm just saying, if I'm dead, you could come and get it.
Well, yeah, because... but yeah, I'll come and get it.
So yeah, I had forgotten you. It's just timing is bad at the moment.
Yeah, am I rushing you? No.
No, you're not. I just wanted, let you know that I haven't forgotten. It's just right. It'll come. Right now is a bad time.
I'll pick up a nice ham radio.
Yeah, is it as nice as that 830 that don't work?
No, did you fix it yet?
No, I haven't really had time to look at it.
Yeah, I picked up a Yaesu.
What Yaesu? Like Yaesu's been around for like 60 years.
What's the model?
Yeah, give me a model number.
Let me look. I think it's a 2500. That sounds like a 2-meter rig.
Yeah. Yeah, they got a lot of digits. It's usually a VHF radio. Anyway, I gotta take a pause for the calls. I'll be back. Countywide.
Roger, roger, roger.
It's a SPDX Trom Hunter.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it is.
That's the one
strike. Hiya, Doug.
How you doing, Pete? And that big wire antenna I was working on, that thing was still giving me hell. It started following out the other day on 3.5 megs, and I just went into the shack today and started playing, seeing how much test readings, and it's still not loading up on 160, but man, I'm telling you, I got a perfect match all the way across from 3.5 megs all the way to 10 meters. It's doing what it should, and I don't understand why I can't get it to do what I want. You know, maybe I'm not looking at it the right way.
I think it's your tuner, because you certainly got enough wire to get on 160. It's your tuner and or using coax. Could be a combination of that, but yeah, you certainly got enough wire to get on 160. So the only thing left is using coax, and the tuner that you're using is keeping you from doing that.
Strange and bizarre.
Is your Yaesu an FTDX 1200?
My Yaesu is an FTDX 1200, yes.
That's the one Goose has.
Nice radio.
Nice radio here, Pete.
I don't need another one, but it is a nice radio.
I didn't say you want another one. I said nice radio there, Pete.
It is a nice radio.
Yes, they are nice radios.
Yeah, I mean it's really a pretty good radio. I'm pretty pleased with it for, I don't know. Oh my God, I think it's like over 10 years old now.
Is that old?
Yeah, I think mine, I don't know, I have to find my damn receipt, which might be difficult, but I think it's at least 10 years old, if not more.
Okay. I wouldn't have thought it was 10 years old because I thought 10 years ago you were still playing around with that Kenwood 480.
I think that's when it blew up, about 10 years ago.
You were doing the remote link with that radio with Doc Hammer and all, and that was, yeah, I guess that was about 10 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, it could be 8, it could be 12, but I mean, it's in the 10-year neighborhood.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Who's running the video gate?
I am. I'm running the video gate.
Oh, somebody asked? I didn't hear him.
Yeah, it was Bite Buster. He's still in there. I'm still annoyed that I can't turn my friggin' beam.
Where's OJ at? I mean, yeah, OJR at tonight.
It's a little early. He might be in there a little bit later.
Raji.
Then, well, it is 9 o'clock. He should be popping in there. So should Train. You know, now that it's, getting dark later, I guess he's out riding bicycles or something.
Is that 1200 opened up, Goose?
Yes, I believe so, because it does 11 meters.
Yeah, all right, that's opened up. Does it have the FFT board?
I do not know.
Have you turned it on?
Yes, I have.
So you see the band scope at the bottom?
Hold on, let me go get it.
Yeah, hook it up and talk on it. If it's really got the 11 meter mod in it.
Yeah, but mine didn't sound good on AM until I went into the data port. It sucks eggs on the stock mic on the microphone, or any other microphone on AM. The only time it was usable was when I went in the back into the data port with my external audio.
Yeah, then you're not bandwidth limited the same way. Then you can play around with an EQ and, sound much better.
Yeah. AM without doing something kind of sucks eggs. I mean, it's great on sideband. Receiver's good on AM and all. But audio sucks eggs unless you do something special on AM.
Like my 1105.
What am I looking for when I turn it on?
So at the hit its scope, and you should see a RF scope down the bottom. Yeah, I see that. On the right-hand side, is there a little block for audio? So you got the RF scope, but there should be an audio frequency scope. At the bottom, there's a big box. To the right of that is a small box. That's like flickery. Not sure you got spikes or not. Yeah, so you got a pretty wide box at the bottom and then a narrower box on the right side of that that shows audio receive. Yeah. You got the FFT board then. That thing will decode PSK31 and CW also.
Somehow I don't think he's going to be doing that.
Do I? No, but that FFT board is desirable.
Oh, absolutely it is. It's a necessity.
But yeah, he has hooked up to the equalizer. He got a mic on the side. You plug the microphone in. You plug the microphone in the bottom. Use a little trigger to key up. Well, that thing has a built-in equalizer.
But it doesn't work if you go into the data port.
No, but if you go into the data port, you don't need it because you're using, you're a little bit smarter.
That's what maybe he's doing. He's got an external EQ and he's going into the data port.
But if he's doing that, it's going to sound good on AM. It's going to sound what? Sound good on AM if you're going in through the data port with an external EQ. Rosie. It was Roach's radio. You remember Roach? When he changed his handle to Pirate.
Oh, Roach over there in Wayne or whatever. Where was he?
And Devin.
Devin. Yeah, he had this big ass amplifier or something he was trying to get working. I don't know what he ever did with that.
He gave it to somebody.
Whatever happened to him? He used to get in there with us on Wednesday nights, and he's just kind of disappeared.
His landlord gave his house to his son, and the son didn't take down his base antenna.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, so if that was Roach's radio, that explains a whole lot, because he was playing around with EQs on that radio, trying to get high fidelity out of that. And I think he had reasonable success with it.
One time he had it sounding real good, but he always kept the headphones on. He's always loud with the headphones, but out here he was very low.
Well, it's just a matter of setting the gain properly, I guess.
He's supposed to come over and have it hook it up, but he hasn't come over yet.
Okay, so now you've got a Yaesu, and you've got that ICOM you bought from JR. Just keeps hammering you. What are you going to do with them there, Goose? You going to get your ham license?
That's what I'm hoping for.
Oh, there you go. Expanding your horizons. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be ready to own 7200.
Since I'm not goofy anymore, I go around and all that little baloney. Not the olden days anymore.
Well, we all have to grow up at some point. At least to a point. Some grow up more than others.
I was just a late bloomer.
Well, better late than never.
That's what they say. Yeah, he wouldn't be out of place on 7200. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, remember that?
like you were in a mobile or something.
I can't even hear him. I hear you, but not as strong as you usually are.
He's stuck on the beam. You forgot to flip the switch in Studio B?
At least he's got a beam he can turn.
Oh, no, that don't sound good. Steve, you can't rotate your beam no more? Hello there, stranger.
Stranger? I ain't no stranger than I ever been, but yeah, for some reason between this past weekend and today, my rotor says I don't want to turn no more.
Why is that? You need a new rotor?
I don't know. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I don't know yet, but it worked on Saturday and it don't work today.
Did it come unplugged? Well, anyway, hello there, you guys. Old JR getting on board and saying hello, hello, hello.
You were absent on medium wave.
Hello, hello, hello there, old JR. Hello, good. Yes, I was. I was indeed. I just got in the shack here now, so, you know, it's dark now. I can come in the shack.
Medium wave was actually kind of fun tonight for the hour that we were there.
Yeah, you know, I was down there last night, actually. And there was a lot of guys on there, but not on the AM, nothing on 85. But there was a group up there on 1945 on AM, believe it or not.
On AM 1945? Really? I always hear these guys on 1930 sidebands.
Yeah, for some reason, these guys were up there in 1945. I couldn't believe it. I said, okay, well, wherever. I guess they can do it wherever they want. But, yeah, so I was listening to them for a while.
Oh, I'd have to go out and retune my tuner to get there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right, you would. You would indeed. But at least they were active there. The band, that particular band last night was hopping. Besides those guys on 1945, all up through the band, it was, you know, all phones, you know, sideband. But, yeah, that's the way it was. It was happening last night.
That's a good thing.
That is. Hello there, Bagger. And I'm not sure who's all in here, but anyway. We'll sit them on the side. Just saying, howdy, howdy.
All right, I'm back. I got you guys to hear me now. Hello around the band. Thanks for making a few adjustments.
Break out the sledgehammer.
Old train on a stop mic.
Don't make me go up to the Studio 3.
Well, no. I'm not saying you got to go anywhere. You sound fine. You're understandable. Yeah, don't take. You're too sensitive. You know, there was another guy on here who was sensitive like that. I got to remember who that was.
Me. Come on ahead and get it back.
Now roll that RF gain back.
RF gain rollback.
That's right. The sensitivity. Roll back on that sensitivity. You're all right.
Sensitive like Royal Auto.
Turn that preamp off. You don't need all that gain.
That's what we always do.
You love that? You come on, you want to have some fun, and somebody bites your head off as soon as you key up. Don't you love it?
Yeah, I hear you.
He's been pancreas teeth.
Yeah, I got ambushed like that one night on 160 meters, I did.
Yeah, I know that thing hurt you for about 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
Gee.
Yeah.
Tough room.
2 weeks wasn't because of any of that.
You all right, Pete?
man. Just busy. Hello, radio. You hear me there by Buster? Anybody hear this thing yet? I hear you, Sandman. I was up on 19. The guy in Texas, he said it sounds fine. No, Door Slammer's telling me it sounds like it's a little crunchy. I think he might be too close to me. Does it sound okay out there, huh? You don't sound crunchy to me. It's loud and it's proud and it's screaming like the bird should. Everybody said it sounds great. Texas, everybody. I've been talking on it the whole time here ever since I was in there a little earlier. Okay, it's just him then. It's hard to explain to him. He thinks something's wrong with my radio. Oh well, let him think it. All right, thanks for coming back. Tell him to turn his noise blanker off. Yeah, that's part of it, Door Slammer. Yeah, that's the first thing I ask when somebody says they sound like crunchy or staticky. Turn your noise blanker off. Well, he's parked at the terminal, too. He's probably got all kind of static from, who knows, power lines and who knows what else. But all righty then, I'll get back out the way. Appreciate the comeback for everybody. All right there, Sandman. You're sounding good. Thanks for checking in with us on the roundup. Absolutely. We'll have it another way. Take care. Yo, what's going on there, Top Gun? Been a while? Been a minute or two? Top Gun out there in Maple Grove. Spitfire 441 on this antique flea market junk. You know, it's Wednesday night, Classic Radio Roundup. Sing that time, sing that shout. Proper side of the dirt, carrying on a Classic Radio Roundup. Hello there, Top Gun. Me? That means I'm lucky. I'm still going. Yes, sir. Can't complain. How about you? Good day, man. It was warm, but it wasn't a sweater, you know? I mean, there's no humidity. Really nice. Hello out there, Top Gun. Try and wave him before you leave. He must be facing the wrong way. It happens that way sometimes. I think Dave turned his antenna around. I'm going to turn mine around, too. I was trying to get with Goose, but he's calling anyway, right? I'm jealous. I can't turn my antenna.
Are you on the flat side tonight there, Train?
my truck driver hat off, put my mechanical hat on, and got some stuff done. And me and a girl and the two youngest ones, they went up to the mountains. They're up there for a whole week.
I hope I'm not cutting off or talking over Night Train there. How about that Top Gun? I can hear you now.
My excuse. I gotta get up early. I'm not leaving yet. I'm just saying that's my excuse.
He's old, but he's not that old.
No. Yeah, I don't know. It's debatable at this point.
How about that Top Gun? You got a copy on Joker here?
Hey, Joker, what's going on?
Not much. Just you were in my static, so I turned the beam on and pointed it your way. So you came in pretty good now. So just wanted to say hello.
Yeah, careful. I better be coming in good now. Holy hell.
73. Have a good one.
And my stick is currently out doing game. Because you can't turn it. Don't need to turn the stick. No, you don't have to turn that. Yeah, well, it's nice to have a beam, but it sucks when you got a beam and you can't turn it. Well, I could do that, but that would take a lot of effort, running in and out, up and down. Dogs would get disturbed. Wife will be wondering what the hell's going on.
Well, then get the wife to do it.
It's a good idea, but you know how that's going to work out.
Yeah, it's not going to work out at all. That's a no-go.
If I had my way, I'd give her a walkie-talkie, and she'd be sitting out there on the with a pipe wrench in her hand. I like start turning, dear, clockwise. Nope, a little bit back, counterclockwise.
And that's why it won't be your way.
Yeah, but if it was my way, she'd be sitting out there with a pipe wrench on the shed roof.
Just give her a chair and some beer and, you know.
Would have to be cider.
Beverage of choice.
Beverage of choice, yes. I'll even bring it out to her. Cold. Sure. Hard cider. Down East Dry, to be specific. I don't know if it's the same as Applejack, but hard cider, and not that Angry Orchards, you know, like that. Hey, Top Gun, thanks for checking in with us, letting us know you're still out and about on the Classic Radio Roundup. Always a pleasure to hear from you. Take care, Top Gun, your countywide radio.
73's Top Gun, take care. Old JR said that.
All right, Train, you got to spin that antenna somewhere between Bagger and myself. As long as you got a decent copy on me and a decent copy on him, I want your evaluation on the two radios that we're using.
position.
What's your usual there,
Usually it's somewhere around east. Sometimes it might go a little bit north of east, like when I want to hear Bite Buster better. Say that 3 times fast. Beat Buster better. Bite Buster better. Better Bite Buster. Oh, I don't know. And sometimes I go a little further south of east if I want to hear Goose better.
Is Bite Buster in there?
I don't know. You still there, Bite Buster?
Bite Buster, you still on? He's got to let us know when he leaves. He never does. But yeah, he was in here for a while.
I guess he gets discouraged when we start talking and, you know, and back and forth and stuff. And he's in there and he's, yeah.
He's got to work to get in between us. I usually hear him when he pipes in there, jumping up and down. Doesn't anybody hear me? I'm like, yeah, we hear you.
But what's worse, not being able to hear him or hearing him and ignoring him? That would be insulting.
If I hear him, I don't ignore him. I acknowledge him. But if I don't hear him, well then, you know, I don't hear him. When I do, I open the door for him because I know he's struggling on the far end.
Yeah, I always have this freaking noise level that, you know, he's usually just barely above.
I'm even hearing him on my beams. We're stuck at the southwest. I was still hearing him on my beam. But he wasn't hearing me as well as he does on my stick, so... The quality of tone and audio and all that between this radio and the one Sandbagger's on.
Sandbagger, you saw.
Okay. 4 minutes ago, I was here. And I don't know.
That's basically what we got from the last report. 10-4. No, I'm not offended by it. I just wanted to know. And then, like, it's free report. Kind of consistent evaluation.
What you guys working with?
Nearly identical radios.
Yep, except one's analog and one's digital.
Specifications are subject to change. Terms and conditions apply.
All right,
Yeah, Sandman, this is the only mic I have for this radio. It's got a 1/4-inch phono jack plug with a D104. And all my other radios are, Cobra 4-pin. So I don't have another mic I could plug into this radio. Solve any kind of problem.
I don't know. I don't think you sound like a stock mic at all. It sounds good, I think. It's actually pretty smooth. I would think you would sound better than I do because there's no limiters in this thing. Could be
it sounds. I'm just glad that you got that one working again.
Yeah, it was a bit of a block. I had to jump that out because that was dropping the power supply voltage and it was drifting all over the place and everything because of that. And oh man, it was ugly, but it seems to be stable now.
Yeah, that one's all, somebody modified the crap out of that radio back in the day.
Yeah, somebody did some weird stuff. There's an extra relay in there that I'm not exactly sure what its purpose is, and you know, I can't even get a good schematic for this thing because it's you know, every place I look for it, it gives me the schematic to the one you have, and not this one. And you know, it makes life interesting.
But that's kind of amazing, because I would think that one is more common than this one.
Yeah, because I think that one you had was only out for barely a year, and then they came out with this one, and this one I guess they produced for a couple of years, maybe not, because you know, the 858 kind of got sunsetted. You know, I think the FCC would have frowned heavily on this chip because it could go all over the place, but you know. So I think by 1979 or 1980, this radio was probably discontinued.
Yeah, but whenever I look on the internet, you know, this and that and the other thing, you see whatever, that one always turns up. This one you almost never see.
Yeah, I would think this one would probably have, you know, bigger numbers of units sold. Courier Centurion, 40, well, this is a 40D.
Courier Centurion, PLL. They're on the outside, they're the same damn radio. The only difference aesthetically is this one's an analog 40 channel, that one's a digital 40 channel. Now inside there's some differences.
Yeah, the main board is exactly the same from what I can tell, but there's an additional board in the back. Oh, there goes that noise again. Oh, and now it's gone again. Yeah, there's an additional board in the back, which is another an audio clipper circuit. So I don't know what was wrong with the original limiter because that was working fine in the radio you have. I don't know why they felt the need to add that other one, but you know, I think it's been defeated for whatever reason because the adjustment doesn't seem to do anything.
I heard that little bit of warbleness.
Well, I wouldn't call it warbleless. It's more like a I don't know, some kind of staticky mic thing.
It sounded like artifacts. It was, I don't know, I'm calling warbling it. I can't even say it, never mind.
Oh, interesting. I always thought it was audio related. I'll have to fire up the spectrum analyzer when it does it again and see if it's actually RF related.
Well, it was an audio warble, you know, just like, I don't know, like maybe like wind across the microphone kind of thing almost.
Yeah. That's what it sounds like. But it wasn't doing it with the other microphone that I had on there. Of course, I cannibalized the plug off of it because I thought, oh, well, maybe the plug's bad. No. But it's calmed down now, though. It's been most of the night. Which leads me back to my earlier theory that there's an electrolytic coupling cap right before the microphone amp, and I'm thinking maybe that's breaking down, so I'll figure that one out.
Well, all right. Well, anyway, it's a lot better than it was when I dropped it off over there, so that's a start.
That's a big 10-4.
Good, buddy. Yep, D104. And they really are, in my opinion, they're good-looking radios. I mean, they are, to me, they're the quintessential, you know, big base station radio that I would have killed for to run back in the day.
flawless performance, but then the final blew in it. And, you know, there's a bunch of little nitpicky stuff. The other one I went through and straightened a lot of nonsense out in it. Now that one seems to be the better of the two. This one's got, well, that one the clock works. This one the clock does not work. And this one seems to have had a rougher life. Somebody went in there and put channel mods in it and took a big chunk out of the board so they could get to the little board on top of it. And it's just
Yeah, the silk screening is all worn off on that one, where the silk screening is all good on this one, and the clock works. That's the thing. This one, the clock works.
Can you guys still hear me?
I could hear you.
Your initial statement on the clock, they don't have to work for me to love the radio. But if the clock does work, that's a bonus. Yeah, this one's 1977, and the clock works and keeps time.
Yeah, I feel slightly differently there. You know, I'm of the opinion if it's on the radio, it needs to work. If it doesn't work, then that takes away from something.
Well, I'll still enjoy that radio, even though the clock don't work. But I'll go to this one because the clock does work. The clock issue could be taken care of in a number of different ways, and whether I actually do something about it or not, you know, is remains to be seen, let's say. But I won't love the radio all that much less if the clock don't work. But it is a lot nicer if it does. My Pierce Simpson Super Lynx has a clock that doesn't work, and the time always says 441. But this one works when it's kind of nice to use for the video gates, because then you can look at the video gate and know exactly what time it is. I set the clock on my ham radio to UTC.
Countywide, are we making a trip yet?
Yeah, you're making a trip.
It's Mr. Sandman. I changed radios. Is this one better?
Well, I'm going to reserve judgment until you turn that echo down.
Oh, yeah, that thing was on. Oh, yeah, ooh la la. Is that better?
I don't think it's any better or any worse. It's slightly different, but it sounds good, so I can't really say it's better or worse. It's good.
Okay, yeah, the signal's probably a little more. This one, wait a minute. Yeah, I think this one might do a little more out of the radio. But, all right, just checking in. It's an old Ranger.
I'm hearing you better here.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
think this one's as loud as the Browning. The Browning's a lot louder.
I have to agree with that. They're both loud and clear, but maybe the Browning's a bit louder, but not by a lot.
Yeah, I could turn this one off. I'm sure I could.
Browning just has that sharp, loud, Browning sound that really isn't, it can't be duplicated.
Yeah, gotta love that glass.
That thing is clear, though. It's loud and clear. But you could tell the Browning's got just that something that it can't be duplicated, like Dave said.
Yeah, can't beat the Browning. Yeah, this is M6 575. Yeah, static microphone. But it works all right.
Try turning your beam around to the northeast there, Train. Yeah, he's up around Allentown, Easton area.
Hello, Train. I don't know if you're going to get it around to me, but I'm in this town of Bethlehem.
Yeah. Well, it sounds good. There ain't nothing wrong with it. Don't hear me.
Say, man, you hearing Night Train?
No, I'm not.
Well, maybe you need to step on the gas there, Train. Because I gather you're hearing him.
Yeah, I'm hearing them real well. I don't know, buddy.
Now I'm hearing Train a little bit.
I'll forget him. I'm not sure. I'm pointing southwest right now.
Yeah, if you got me, you should be pretty close enough to hear Night Train.
I hear that.
I actually was starting to hear you there, Train.
Yeah, I heard you all along there, Joker. I did. I don't know. I could have just went on up to Studio B.
Haha, 10-4.
DOB. You're doing fine. It's just the outliers are struggling a little bit.
There's a disadvantage of the thing. You gotta be spinning it and trying to point it. That's the disadvantage.
Yeah, and then you could be like me where you got the stick, but you want to use your beam, but your beam won't turn, so you got to use your stick.
But the stick puts out better than the beam.
Yeah, but the beam hears better than the stick.
That's just weird. You would think the difference in signal would work both ways. One would be better, receive and transmit.
I'm baffled by the whole scenario. Doesn't make any sense to me either.
It's as baffling as getting RF burns off your coax connectors.
It's as baffling as your rotor worked on Saturday but don't work on Wednesday.
And then watch, you'll try it tomorrow and it'll work.
That'd be fantastic if it did.
But that would be a greater mystery. It's like, okay, it broke. But what broke? And why did it fix itself?
But it still indicates where it's pointed.
Maybe it took on some rain this last round.
I mean, I've had this rotor, oh my God, I've probably had this rotor for 30 years. It never gave me a problem until today.
What's going on? That's what he's got.
Yeah, well, hopefully that's not a harbinger because I've got basically the same thing as you got. And, of course, I rebuilt mine when I took the beam down. I re-greased everything and all, but who knows?
Yeah, and I had another one that became surplus to my needs. I completely rebuilt it, greased it, worked great, and sold it and I went and sold it to Joker. Maybe I should have just kept it in standby instead.
Always good to have a backup.
I guess you could check for voltage, on the output terminals there. It's possible your transformer opened up, or there fuse blew.
Yeah, and I went looking for my manual while we were BSing here, and I can't find it. But I'm sure there's something online. I know I got a manual, but I don't know where the heck it is. I'll have to look again. But yeah, some preliminary checks are in order like that, and I should be able to pin it down to something, whatever's wrong.
Yeah, 'cause there's like two transformers in there. One of them powers the small one powers the indicator, and the larger one powers the rotor. And there's a starting capacitor, or I won't call it. It's a non-polarized electrolytic. It's a I guess what's the word for it? It's a capacitor that goes across the motor terminals to help it spin. If that capacitor opens up, I guess it'll just buzz, but it should still work a little, I think.
Yeah, I'm just going to have to look and see if voltages are going out of my terminals and then go from there.
Yeah.
I mean, there should be no voltage on those terminals unless you go to turn it. It's only energized when you turn it, but I guess there's got to be some sort of voltage going out there for the position, so you say that's the one transformer, and I guess a couple of contacts, and the rest of them for turning it.
Yeah, I know this thing has a brake system in it, but my rotor doesn't have a brake in it. I guess it's for this box works on like the fancier ones too. That you hit the little brake button and you can hear the brake go boom boom. Because I know somebody had one like that. But, yeah, you can find information online. Cause I remember looking for that myself and finding all that stuff. I might even have some paperwork here, but yeah, it's easily findable online.
Well, here's something for you. When I first found out it wouldn't turn, I ran outside and I grabbed my pipe wrench and I went up on the shed, put the pipe wrench on the pipe, and I tried to turn it, and the motor was fighting me. So the brake works.
Oh, you have a brake on yours?
I have a brake on mine. I tried to turn it with a pipe wrench just to force it a few more degrees. It said, no, you ain't. Nope, I ain't turning. And I could hear the motor like fighting me, or I don't know if it's the motor or the brake or whatever, but I couldn't turn it.
Well, I'll tell you, mine doesn't want to turn. There's no brake. But the gears there's such a gear reduction in there that it don't want to turn. Otherwise, I would point it into the wind and the wind would turn this stinking thing.
Well, I know in the past fooling around, if I push my brake button down, but don't hit the clockwise, counterclockwise buttons, but I lock the brake down, I can put a little tab of metal in there and hold the brake open, and go outside, I can turn it myself.
Oh, okay. Then maybe you got a higher version in mind. Because I know I hit that button and I don't hear any clunking or anything. And I don't, there's like a little solenoid or relay or something in there that's supposed to engage and disengage the brake. And for the life of me, I couldn't find that in mine.
Yeah, well, mine's got the brake, and I think the brake is not an actual physical brake, but it's a motor, like a motor lock, like a magnetic kind of motor lock. It's almost what it seems like. Like the motor energizes, one way or the other. If you try and force it to turn while the brake is engaged.
Of course, if you shut the thing off, then what happens?
I'll have to try turning it with the motor off. But I mean, I would think that something keeps it from turning. I don't know what, but I don't know. It's been a while since I had it apart and greased it, so I don't really remember what it looks like in there exactly. I know there's that big, ring thing of bearings and all that junk, but I don't remember much beyond that.
You could probably fix it.
Yeah, I can't imagine it's anything more. I mean, it's either like Dave said, I just got to check for voltages, but maybe the other transformer let loose. The fuse went. I mean, it worked on Saturday, and it don't work today, so I don't know. Something happened.
That's the same kind of rotor I have with the bearings all the way around the outside, yep.
Yeah, it's the CDE4, the HAM4, same thing.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, mine is, I think it's a CD44. It's like the next step down, but it's the same kind of control box.
Yeah, the boxes are interchangeable and the bells and I mean, like they're very, very somewhat similar. I don't know. You'd really have to look at them side by side to tell the differences. You know, they're heavy duty. Hand style rotors. I think they're the most common things out there. The CDE 44, the HAM4, whatever.
8-wire.
Yeah, the 8-wire ones. Yep. They're so common. I mean, they're the most common rotors out there that I've seen in my ham career.
Mine's been up there like 15 or 20 years even. Yeah, it's been up there a long time.
I've had this particular rotor in place where it is now for 25 years, but I've had that rotor probably over 30 years.
You probably got a wire that came off, that's all.
Well, I looked in the back of my box and I quick looked underneath the rotor earlier. I didn't see nothing. I just have to look closer to see, but yeah, I mean, if it was one wire, you would think it would turn to one direction, but not the other, but it don't turn at all.
Yep, I don't know. Yeah, you gotta look it over.
Yeah, I gotta look it over. That's all there is to it. Do a little voltmeter testing, a little physical investigation. I'll figure it out. Whether it's going to be easy or hard,
Oh, they're worth fixing. I don't know, yeah, because this one I went over, I greased it and everything only once. And it's been good to me, but, yeah.
Well, when I rebuilt the one that I sold, I rebuilt this one too. So it's only been a couple of years since I had the rotor itself all apart and greased up, so it's nothing like that. It's probably the control box or the wiring.
You never know. But there's control boxes on eBay. They look brand new. They don't get too much money for them either, so you can get one.
Yeah, that's actually the cheaper part of it. It's the control box.
Absolutely.
Because people will abandon the rotor to keep the control box and have their rotor with it, and just want to sell the damn thing.
Yeah, some people, they don't even know what they are. They just want to get rid of them. They'll sell for $20, you know?
Yeah, right? So their loss is my gain.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you know it, Goose. Yeah. So when you taking your test?
I got to study.
Oh, good grief. My wife passed it, and she didn't study.
My wife studied the book, but, that was easy.
Yeah, but she can read better than me.
In fact, my wife's got to renew her ticket in a year, and she'll be a 30 years license.
Well, I got to renew mine next year.
Isn't there some place where you can go online and, study? Or, like state test, whatever?
Yeah, ARRL.org.
I think it was one called hamtest.org or something like that.
ARRL's got practice tests, too.
Test online. That's the one I use.
Say again there, Sandman?
Ham Test Online. That's a pretty good one. That's the one I use.
There you go. Ham Test Online. Is that .com or .org?
I'm not sure. It'll come up, the Ham Test Online. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Google search it, Goose. You'll find it.
Yep. It'll let you take practice exams, and it'll let you do anything, but then they want you to pay $20 you got to pay, and to do the whole thing, but it's worth it. And then you want a couple books, too. You want to use the books and the online, and out of a couple different books and all, because a lot of them have different interpretations on the questions. They're worded a little different, so it's good to have a couple different references.
6-year-old girls that know nothing about radio can pass the technician test. So are you smarter than a 6-year-old girl?
I hope so.
I'm not kidding, man. The technician test is easy. Just getting past that takes a little more effort.
I studied for the first two, and I passed them both at once. I took them both at once.
The general's where it's at. You know, once you get general, that's amateur radio.
So do I need both or just one?
Just start out, get your technician test, then worry about the general after. Just get your technician first. But, you know, to get all HF privileges, you got to be a general. But you'll get 10 meters with a tech.
Yeah, that's push yourself.
What's that, Dave?
So, yeah, you don't have to push yourself. You know, one step at a time.
Yeah, the best way to eat pie is a piece at a time.
That's right.
I mean, you know, since you don't have to worry about code anymore, I mean, that was always the biggest stumbling point. But if you can master the technician test, the additional element 3B for general, that's really, you know, only a few more things. And then, you know, once you get your general, you can go, you know, practically anywhere, you know. But yeah, extra only gives you a few kilohertz on either end of the bands on HF, so, you know, unless you really want to do that, you don't even have to.
Yeah, the general gets more into, once you get your technician and get familiar with the bands and the band edges and frequency usage and all that, then that's what general becomes. It's like, all right, where are you allowed to operate?
Yeah, there's a lot of rule questions in there.
There's a lot to all that stuff, all the diodes and all that stuff.
Yeah, but get your feet wet. Just get the technician test first, and you get your feet wet and familiarity. And a lot of that stuff will answer itself just from being, you know, using the stuff. Yeah, and that was actually, the code was the hardest part for me to get anywhere. It was getting the code. And if it wasn't for playing around with old Wayne on 2 meters at 220 banging away on keys practicing, we would have never got to where we were. Like the theory for extra was easy. It was at 21 words a minute.
Yeah, when they dropped the code down to 5 words a minute, that's what I did. I went over and I said, well, I'm going to get grandfathered into the general because I took the whole element 3 when I took my technician back in the day because they didn't split it up when I took mine. I had to go down to the FCC and take the test. They didn't have DEs then. And so I was going to go in there, sign my name on a dotted line, and walk out with a general and not have to do anything. And they said, why don't you sit down and take the extra? Go ahead. Olaf was one of the DEs. And I'm like, all right. You know, I sat down and I passed it.
Well, that's the thing that kind of blows my mind is Wayne and I got our extras before you did, which is just wrong on so many levels.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, you know. The code. The code was going to hold me. I was never going to go any faster than 5 words a minute. Matter of fact, I don't even think I was ever at 5 words a minute. I would write down the dits and the das as it was being sent at 5 words a minute, and I would go back and translate it. That's how I did it.
See, it's people like you is the reason I feel that the code was BS, you know? Because there's some smart, technical people out there that were held back because of the stupid code. I mean, a lot of them people I ran into on, you know, the Mount Airy VHF Society, you know, them VHF, UHF guys. Brilliant people, but they couldn't do code like that. And like, you know, that's just, you know, that shouldn't be a barrier for people like that.
Thankfully, the FCC finally agreed.
Yep, the fact that Wayne and I got extras before you did is just wrong.
The extra has twice as many questions as either of the other two.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I struggled through the extra test. I struggled, but I passed it. So, once that happened, I was like, all right, now I can move forward and don't worry about it.
Yeah, I had one question wrong on the extra.
Yeah, I don't remember. I know I didn't ace it. I think I might have passed by the skin of my teeth. I actually did better on the code. And I struggled through the theory because there's a lot of deep theory that math. Me and math don't get along that well.
Yeah, a whole lot of decibels and zeros. You said it. Anyway, it's about that time. I'm going to get myself out of here and get to bed. So, catch everyone later. Another wonderful Classic Radio Roundup in the can. Good that you're back with us here, Pete. We were all worried about you there. Anyway, we'll do it again.
Well, you could worry, but then you'd have to come over and collect radios. All right, yep, I'm back. I'm back on schedule. And I wasn't going to be the first, but I will be the second to say goodnight. Thanks for another fun-filled Classic Radio Roundup. And sometime tomorrow, look for the video gate. Probably not as early as usual. It's going to probably be later in the day because of my work schedule now and all blah, blah, blah. But it will be posted at some point, tonight's Classic Radio Roundup. Video gate in the usual place. Again, thanks for everyone who participated to make it what it is and all the fun we have. Countywide!
Yep, I guess I'll be third in line. I'm going to call it a night, too. I'll try to get this gate up sooner than later, and I forgot to do the one last week, so I'll have last week's up soon, too. So you guys all have a good one. Talk to you later.